Good day everyone, my name is Kansani. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Koroni. Today's topic was not really planned, but it was prompted by the conversation that I had with my elder sister, and it stuck with me, and I realized it's the conversation that we need to have. Self-righteous. We are so self-righteous. You know, most of the time we'll be talking about what somebody did to us, what this person said about us, what did this person did to me, and all that and all that. But we never talk about the things that we do to other people. We never talk about the things that we said about other people. It can be confidential things, it can be sensitive issues, or whatever that it is. But we are always in a hurry to say, Usman Bani said this about me, Usman Bani did this to me. And we never look at ourselves. We never look at ourselves and do introspection. As a human being, how many times have you hurt other people? How many times have you spoken out of turn? How many times you became unbecoming to somebody else? Sometimes you do it consciously, sometimes we do it unconsciously. But I think we need to reach a stage where we need to recognize human beings as human beings. The way we want people to treat us, we must also treat people the same way. Do unto others as you like them to do unto you. But we hardly practice that. We hardly do that. We always self-pity and feeling that you were wronged and you are right. We always run to that. But we never look back at our steps. We never look back at our lives and check the people that we might have hurt intentionally or not intentionally. So today I want you to think about it. Next time when you are saying somebody gossiped about you, then you ask yourself, haven't I gossiped about someone? When you said somebody is not a good friend, then you must ask yourself, have you always been a good friend? Have you always been a good friend to everyone or those close to you? Or whoever, it doesn't matter, because the Bible says being friendly and whatever, we must treat everybody else the same as we want to be treated. That's why God says, I will tell you, you will tell me that God, I knew you, I created miracles and everything. And then he said, I was there, but you didn't feed me. So when you want something from someone and they cannot give it to you, don't always resort to self-pity and you feel that you deserve what you were asking. Because I'm sure there was a time in your life also you wanted something and somebody could give it to you or didn't give it to you. I mean, you wanted something. You wanted something and somebody wanted something from you and you didn't give it to them. But you know, the evil one, he deceives us. He deceives us all the time. It's like when somebody is sinning or somebody has done something, it's so easy for us to point out somebody's wrong or the sin that they're doing. Whereas we never do checkpoint with our own lives and the things that we do. That's why that when we pray, we can pray now about the sin that you have done, and then with the next 3 minutes we go and repeat that sin. So imagine God has to always hear us coming to him, requesting that he forgive us for the sins that we have done, for the mistakes that we have done. And some mistakes are intentional. You plan it. Sometimes we even plan to sin. You know, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, and you know God doesn't want that. And as time goes by, it becomes a habit, it becomes something that it comes naturally to you, because the more you do something more often, it becomes natural to you. And God has to hear you coming to him all the time, asking for forgiveness. And he knows that you know you're not supposed to do that. He knows that you know better, but you don't do better. So the same grace that we want God to give us is the same grace that we must give to other people. That we must always remember. The same grace, the same second chances. And when they say second chances, it doesn't mean you're counting. It doesn't mean 1, 2. No. Because we tend to say, and then when we want to forgive someone, we'll be like, hey, but the person has done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Myself included, I always like to when I speak about issues, I speak about issues that I can relate to. Something that I've experienced, something I've done. I've been self-righteous. I've been self-righteous. I have seen other people as worse sinners. And the other thing that we do also, the mistake that we do is that we you know, when you know that the dog loves bones and you put bones in front of it, what are you expecting to happen? Are you expecting the dog not to go and take the bone? It will go and take the bone because it comes naturally to the dog. So the person who's wrong, it's not the dog. Or if you call the dog a person, whatever. The person who's wrong is not the dog. It's you who have exposed the dog. You know the weakness of the dog, and then you put those bones in front of the dog. What do you expect the dog to do? You know that, let's say your sibling or your partner or whoever or your friend is not good with money, and then you borrow the money. What are you expecting to happen? You know these people are not good with managing the money. You know that they're not good with returning borrowed money. Aren't you setting up for a failure? Aren't you setting them up for a failure? Because you know they're not good with money. Isn't it better to give it to them, knowing in your heart that you have set yourself free, that if this money doesn't come back, it is well with you? You go and talk sensitive issues with maybe your neighbor. You know this person cannot keep quiet. Who is at fault? Oh, you put food, more food. You know there's this person, or the person who's an alcoholic. How do you put alcohol in front of somebody who's alcoholic or somebody who loves alcohol? And then when you come back, you find that they finish that alcohol, they are soaking themselves in that, they're stinking smelling of that alcohol. Who's at fault? It is you who knows better, who knows the weakness of this person, but you expose them to that. So sometimes the things that you find that we complain about in life, and then we always say this person did this and this person did that. We must also look at ourselves, the role that we play in that. We must also check that we must not put a bait on people when we know what their weaknesses and their strengths. It's rare for us to admit the wrongs, our wrongs. We're always saying people did this to me, people did that to me, but we never look at also what we have done. There's no one who's perfect. And when you know people cannot hate you when you know them, and you will not expose them to things that you know they're not capable of handling. So, and also the issue that the people that you surround yourself with, are they willing to tell you the truth and put it as it is, or they just ride with the wave that you are on, and then they make your emotions to go chaos. It's about time that even the people that we surround ourselves, even our siblings, even our partners, do they hold you accountable, or to say, you know what, I hear what you're saying, but they come with a better version, which is influenced by the being godly. So that is the topic for today. It's not the topic that I had planned for, but I felt it was very necessary. I appreciated the talk that I had with my sister, with my elder sister. You know, and I'm thankful that we are always honest with each other, no matter how brutal it is. That is one thing that I'm thankful for. We are very brutal with each other. We tell each other the truth as it is. So if I go to her and I'm upset about 1, 2, 3, but she will say, but what about 1, 2, 3? And then you'll be like, you know, sis, you are very right. So let's teach ourselves to be accountable. Let's teach ourselves to look at people the way God sees them. Let's look at people the way God sees them. And let's not throw a bone to people when you know that they cannot be able to handle, not to eat that bone. I hope you're okay wherever you are. I hope you're keeping safe with the number of COVID. COVID is not, it's still on. Bazalwane, COVID is still on. People are still being infected by COVID. Don't get excited by the festive season. December is like any month. Don't be excited and expose yourself to the possibility of infection. And let's go back to drinking those things that we were advised to do: ginger, apple cider vinegar. I just went now from work, and I remember that it's been some months since I've been adhering to the rules. Don't get tired because you have one life. Don't get tired to adhere to the rules because you have one life, and after your life is exposed to something, you may not have a chance to rectify. Today is Thursday. Weekend is around the corner. Some of you are working from home, like some of us are working from home. I hope wherever you are, when you say, God forgive me for the sins that I've done and those I don't understand, so that you can forgive me for the sins I've done, I can be forgiven. What does it say? My mind block. My mind is just running. But that prayer that we say, Lord, forgive me for the sins that I've done, and for, oh, my mind, guys, when it did that part, I don't know why, it's just blocked. We really need to break it down and understand it, because when we understand that prayer, we are not going to be carried. We're not going to be carried by emotions. We're not going to be carried by, and God don't care about emotions. Let me tell you something. God doesn't care about your emotions. God cares more about what He wants us to be more holier and to be better. Yes, He knows we're human beings. Please remember to love yourself more.